Good morning and hello, people of the planet. Welcome to the most random podcast you'll probably listen to. This is Some of Everything. And I'm your host, Xavier Marshall, the staff sergeant type. Today, we'll be more heavily focused on the military, as last few episodes, if you were with us, you saw that we covered a bit of the enlistment process, the future soldier training, job selections, testing, and everything else. So today, we actually have another person with us who is a recruiter as well, but he also has another job. I'll let him tell you a bit about himself. We'll get into some questions, and then we're going to have some fun towards the end. So hopefully you learn a little bit about what it's like for people in, what they did to join, why they joined, and he'll tell you a little bit about his story. We have with us Staff Sergeant Ryan Argerbright. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's going to be weird. He's been put on the spot. He did not know he was going to be here today, ladies and gentlemen. I sprung it on him because this is actually my producer. So this is the guy who's behind the camera telling me when to stop talking and stop moving and whatnot. So, yeah, he's been put on the spot. But it's going to be fun because that's what we do here, randomness. I told you it's going to be weird. So I'm going to let him take over a little bit, tell you a little bit about himself, what he does, and we'll get into some questions. Floor is yours.
Yeah, nothing too special about me. I'm 40 years old, married with 2 kids. Been in the Army 10 years. My official MOS is a 6-8 whiskey Army combat medic, and I've been doing recruiting for about 2 years now. I got 1 year left on this assignment, and then after that, who knows what my next step is, but we'll figure it out.
Okay. How do you like recruiting?
Recruiting is there's good aspects to it. It's like everything. There's good and bad things everything you do.
Yeah.
It's definitely is cool when you get to help somebody.
Okay.
But some of the day-to-day stuff is what it is.
All right. Is it easy? Is it fun? If you had to rate this experience 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest experience of your life, 1 being, I don't think I want to do this ever again.
I would say it's about a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
If you control what you can control and you don't worry about the rest, then you can make it, a good experience. But if you if you definitely get caught up in the hustle and bustle of, the numbers that go along with recruiting, then it can stress you out.
Gotcha. How does this compare to, as we call it being back on the line? For some people's jobs is back on the line. As a mechanic, I'm on the line. Infantry's on the line, and a lot of medics are also on the line. So how does this compare to being back on the line in regular Army?
I would say some of the things that I think is maybe more enjoyable than being back on the line is you in theory, you get a lot more family time. So that's a good thing. You're not going on deployments. You're not going to the field. So you get to, you get to come home every night. So that's a good thing. On the bad side, I kind of do miss being back with a normal platoon.
Yeah.
And just having like a group of just random soldiers kind of BSing with throughout the day.
Yeah.
So I do kind of miss the platoon aspect of being back on the line.
It's something about being, like you say, in that environment. A lot of people be like, the Army sucked, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, why'd you love it so much? It's the people. So having soldiers is stressful, but it's fun. Being in the motor pool and back in the office, like he was saying, it's a lot of fun. You don't have much freedom, but you do have a lot of different opportunities to do something you never really thought you would do.
Yeah.
So yeah, being back on the line, man, it's fun. I think I'm going to go back and see what it's like being a staff sergeant. I just recently got promoted, people. I don't know if you knew that, but I just recently got promoted. So yeah, we're going to see what that's like.
I was to say, I've never been in a bad unit.
Never.
Because it's the people that make the unit. I mean, you might have, it's a job. The Army's a job, and you got good days, bad days. You got things you got to deal with. But like I said,
This mic is killing me.
The platoon is like being in platoon, being in unit. It's just all about that camaraderie that you have with people. So not saying we don't have camaraderie here recruiting, but everybody's out recruiting, prospecting.
Yeah.
It's just a little different. We're all working our area, trying to, help people get into the Army. So.
Okay. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump straight into the actual questions. I came up with these questions because as I was supposed to do. So yeah, hopefully you get a good insight to everything, and we'll see how it goes. All right. So question 1. What made you join the military? Was it a specific reason that made you sign up? Something that happened? You're like, yep, I'm gonna do that?
So my story's a little different because I always knew I wanted to join the military when I was like a little kid. Everything was like good guy, bad guy, cops, robbers, things like that. So I knew I was going to join the military, but my father, he was in the military, and I wanted to join originally right out of high school. But my dad was like, go to college first, and so I did that. It took me forever to get through college because I had no motivation to do college. So I think
Yeah.
it took me like 8 years to get my 4-year degree because like work was more of a priority to me than school.
Okay.
It's like so I worked full time and I kind of did college like whenever. So like it took me forever to get my degree, and then I finally got my degree. And then I went to kind of work in corporate America, and I kind of put the army on the back burner. And then just being in corporate America, not really enjoying it at all. I decided at 30 to finally go into the military.
So,
I joined as an old man.
so don't say that. I was
So
like, I'm right behind you in age. But so you say corporate America. What did you do?
I had a couple jobs. I think the last job I was doing was I was working for Experian, the credit reporting agency.
Okay.
And I had a couple of different jobs within. Primarily I would do like the handling the disputes and the accuracy of the credit report, and explaining like credit scores and everything.
Yeah.
And then there's no way I was doing that for 20 years. There's
I'm
no way I was
done.
doing that for 20 years.
You rather do recruiting?
I'd rather recruit for 20 years than sit at a desk and do that job all day.
Oh man, that's rough. I worked at Chili's.
Yeah.
Worked at Chili's here in St. Louis. That was wild. I said it before and I'll say it again. Everybody should have a serving job at least one time.
I did when I was in high school, I did fast food. And then I had I had two jobs. I never was like a full on waiter, but I worked in restaurants. Like I was a host.
Yeah.
And then I was a waiter at a buffet. So it was like a half wait experience.
Oh yeah.
Like I mostly just got drinks. Maybe occasionally get a couple food for people that couldn't get up. And then like elderly people.
Yeah.
And then also primarily just like busted tables. So it was like a half waiter experience.
Yeah.
But I couldn't be a waiter. My memory's not good enough to be a waiter.
But back then we had notepads.
Yeah, I would be writing word for word.
That's what you gotta do.
And I always worried about carrying the tray. I'd spill it on people.
I've seen my fair share of spills. But today they walk up like, what can I get for you? I'm looking, you got no notepad, you ain't nothing. Yeah, I'm telling them, like, if you mess up, I'm taking 20 cents out your tip. But then we had a little notepad popping out. But you get used to it. Like we have abbreviations for stuff. Like
I'm sure you.
So
the longer you work there, you know the menu better.
Yeah.
That always like made me hesitant to be a waiter. So.
Well, I understand that. It was fun though. It was fun. Again, it was the people that you met. So there was that. We're gonna move forward. What was your first day in basic like, if you can remember? You heard that laugh?
Yeah.
I heard that laugh.
So skip reception because reception is like your pre-basic.
Okay.
Training days where they process you and everything. But when we get picked up from reception and we go to basic training, I went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Hey, represent.
And is that where you went?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you get picked up by your drill sergeants, you ride on a bus, and then like they're messing with you on the bus, and you get out of the bus, and then I don't know if you had to do this, but we basically had to get our bags, and we ran probably about maybe like a football length, maybe 100 yards or so.
Mm-hmm.
Like down to like the gathering area, the training area.
With your bags?
Yeah, like with the bags.
Yeah,
It's hot as crap in the South in summertime in South Carolina. So you're moving, and then everybody gets in a formation, and then they call you off to split you into your platoons. And for me, I was they went alphabetical order, but I didn't know that at the time. And so my last name is Argabright, and the drill sergeant I was the first name called, but he butchered the name. And I was like, I kind of thought he said Argabright, but it didn't sound like it was Argabright. So, he's calling like 5, 10, 20 names off. I'm like, oh shoot, he's going alphabetical order, so that probably was me. You're supposed to like fall out and go to your platoon or whatever. So long story short, I'm the last person standing. And they're like, who are you? Like, what's your name? I'm like, Argabright. Drill sergeant, Argabright, drill sergeant. And then they're like, "Mother effer, you're the first name called." And so then they like shark attack me, like,
Oh man.
5, 10 drill sergeants like just screaming in my face. So like, go over there, you're like first platoon or whatever. And so I go over there. So now I'm late.
Mm-hmm.
Doing, they're like checking through everybody's bag, checking for contraband or whatever.
Man.
And so I got 10 drill sergeants that just ID'd me, and then I go to my platoon. And I got, these 2 or 3 drill sergeants that are directly assigned to this platoon. Like, they key in on me too, right? So I'm just getting so my first 4 weeks was everybody knew who I was,
Oof.
right? Because in basic, you want to lay low. You want to be like
Yeah.
the gray man. You don't want to stick out.
You do not want to be known in basic. Yeah.
So like they messed with me for basic's 10 weeks long. So at least like the first month, 4 weeks, they just
Oh my
picked on
God.
me.
Like one whole phase, basically.
Yeah, like they just keyed in on me, and eventually, like you prove that it is what it is. Like they can't break you down, and they'll move on to somebody else. But yeah, they messed with me for a while.
Yeah, basic. So my first day of basic, this was a while ago, y'all. Just so we're aware, we've been in double-digit years. That's all we'll say. So things are different now. But back when I went through, we got on that bus. We had to put our head down, like we were being smuggled. And
Don't look up.
they get up on the bus, and yeah, they sound so like you could tell they're mean, but they sound, hey, all y'all on this bus, blah 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 blah, get the off. And I'm like, oh, okay. And you get off. Now with our bag situation, we were told to find. They had all of our bags, just this big pile. It wasn't laid out or nothing. And we had to dig and find our bag. Found your bag, you had to go to your formation, wherever they told you to go, and hold your bag above your head until everybody else found it. If you didn't find it, you got smoked for a certain amount of time. You had to go back and find your bag. Finally, somebody was like, just grab a bag. They don't care whose bag you have. Just grab a bag. So we went, grabbed bags. We held them up. Is this your bag? No, Drill Sergeant. Whose bag do you have? I don't know, Drill Sergeant. We just got somebody's random bag. And they gave us trouble.
Yeah.
They smoked us so bad, my arms cramped up and got stuck. And I never knew that was something that could happen. I was an athlete before I got in, man. And I'm like, all right, I'm strong. No, I'm not. Not at all. But we were force hydrated. That was a weird amount of torture. You had to finish off a canteen. But I went in winter months. No, I went in winter months. My January is when I started. So I had my 10 weeks from January on, and it was cold, and then it got wet and rainy, and you out there digging foxholes and everything. But we're saying this about basic right now, right? But I would go back and do it again. Not with this body, but I would go back in time and I would do basic again, because it was actually pretty fun. It's wild.
Yeah.
And it's not like people like what you see on TV. Yeah, some of it, but it's red, white, and blue phase. So once you get into your certain phases, they ease up on you. The first one is to break you down. The second one is to get you comfortable. And the third one is to just prep you to move forward, right? So it's not as bad as people really make it sound.
It's something like you don't enjoy it necessarily when you're going through it.
Yeah.
But when you look back on it, you enjoy it. And like the harder it is, the better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you learn something about yourself. And that's the whole point. You learn something about yourself. So, yeah, that was your basic. All right, what was your AIT like? Random question.
So yeah, I enjoyed basic more than I did AIT, because in basic, like you know it's gonna suck. You embrace the suck, right?
Yeah.
And then every day is like a set of challenges. It's like little puzzles and games, like you versus the drill sergeants, right? They're giving you all these tasks, and you guys try to complete them, and you get smoked, and when you mess up. But I thought AIT was cool because you got to learn your job, but it was also kind of annoying because it's like in AIT, like we could have had freedom, but it's like people messed it up. So it's like they kind of tease you with freedom because you're there to learn your job in AIT. You're not there to go through basic again, basically.
Yeah.
But my AIT, because is your phone on? My AIT, it was basically like
little podcast.
It was like basic training all over again, plus learning my MOS because people couldn't act right.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, if they could act more mature. But again, I was 30 and in there with kids that were like 18.
Yeah.
So AIT was kind of boring, and I was glad when AIT was over.
How long was your AIT?
16 weeks.
Okay.
16 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. My AIT was different. It was in Fort Lee, Virginia, and it was pretty fun. Yeah. You had to earn your freedom, but even with your freedom, you had to earn like certain things with it. Like you can be out somewhere, but you had to be in uniform, and then you earned the right to be out off post, and then not in uniform. So it was pretty fun. I got in trouble though, so I had to stay a little longer than most people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna. Y'all don't need to know what I did, but just know that
Yeah.
my 4-month AIT turned into basically another 3 months. So I was almost on a deployment. I was
Yeah.
gone for like 9 months, and then I came home. But it was fun. It was fun. Yeah, AIT is something different. It's different now. We didn't have drill sergeants though.
So I think I was the first group that had drill sergeants.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I think I was the first group.
Yeah,
I
we didn't
came
have drill
in
sergeants.
2016, and but they were like they didn't know how to be if they were like drill sergeants or if they were like platoon sergeants. So
Yeah,
like you never knew. Like one day they'd act like a drill sergeant, and
yeah.
then they'd act like just like a normal platoon sergeant. So that was kind of interesting, but yeah, it is what it is.
It was cool. Yeah, we didn't have drill sergeants. We just had really angry platoon sergeants that didn't want to be there dealing with you. So there was that. What was the hardest part making your decision to join?
Mm, I would say probably for me to making the decision, like my mind was made up. Like when I went and talked to a recruiter,
Hmm.
I was like the ideal like prospect because like my mind was made up. Right.
Unicorn. You're a
Yeah,
unicorn?
like I was unicorn. Like I knew I was gonna do it.
We
Um,
love unicorns in recruiting.
I would say the hardest part of the process was telling like my family and my girlfriend
Okay.
who would eventually become my wife. Because it's like my decision and how it affects them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like now my girlfriend's put in a spot where she has to kind of, she's gonna now kind of follow me throughout my military career. And then, telling the family that, obviously when you go active duty, you're not gonna stay home. You're gonna travel.
Where you from?
From Texas, Dallas,
Did
Texas.
you say that already? I don't know.
I don't think I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was born in Dallas and I was raised about 30 minutes north in a town called Allen, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
So the old saying that you hear when you join, your family joins too.
100%.
That okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Cause like you're not gonna be home. Like so I was, 30, living in the same area my whole life, and I saw my family, every day, every weekend. And now it's like you see them like once, twice a year sometimes.
Yeah.
So that can be kind of challenging.
Yeah. That's rough. I had to leave my son because my son is the reason I joined. So leaving him was terrible. I reported. I don't know if y'all heard anything. I reported September 26th. I reported on his birthday to my first duty station. So that was the worst part. The worst part was leaving him. But he's about to be 17 now, so he understands. He understands why I did it. He's a good kid. His mom just hit me up talking about we got to buy a sophomore ring. So I was like, we don't have to buy them. I was like, would you like your help? But
Yeah.
yeah, that's my boy, my only boy.
Baby boy.
I need another boy. All right, moving forward.
I
Sorry.
feel like
Get
Will
sidetracked.
Ferrell, like what I do with my hands.
Yeah. You keep adjusting stuff. Stop it. Quit it.
And that what's that Talladega?
We're leaving all of this in too.
Yeah.
Other people like edit and cut. I told you, you're gonna get real and raw. I'm barely editing anything. I might keep the first part in too, or it might be just a bonus blooper. We'll see. Anyway, moving forward. What does your job look like on a day-to-day basis? Like, what makes it fun? What makes it unique? If you were to like pitch it out, like get this job, like what is the key element to why it's such a good job? Like why you chose it?
For the 68 whiskey combat medic, so being as an enlisted as a E1 to like your E4, like as your lower enlisted, as someone who is not in a leadership position, your primary job is going to be like patient care. So whether you work in a clinic or you work outside of the clinic. So in the clinic, you kind of function like a nurse. You're going to basically see patients. You're going to do the scribing and you'll talk to the patient, find out what's going on, and you go brief the doctor or the PA. And then, they'll see him, come up with a treatment plan. You might kind of help execute that treatment plan if it's like medicines or a shot or something. If you're not in the clinic, then you're basically functioning as like a quote unquote line medic, where you basically are going to be attached to a platoon and you kind of function as an EMT type role where when they're out doing training, whether it be going to the field, going to a range to shoot weapons, or whatever training exercise they're doing, you're basically there in case somebody gets hurt.
Okay.
And
Which
then
is better?
I mean, some people I like both. I also like having the ability to bounce back and forth between the two because if I do either one for too long, I kind of start getting bored with it. Yeah, but I would say probably I would prefer the field more because you just get more different stuff. In the clinic, it kind of turns into the same stuff every day. Like my knee hurts, my back hurts, cold flu like cold and flu like
I
symptoms.
don't want to take a PT test tomorrow.
Yeah, but in the field, it's like it's always kind of something different.
Okay. Would you say this is a hands-on job? A lot of people are like, I want a hands-on
As a
job.
medic,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. There is some downtime though. Like if you're not treating patients or in the field, then you're like maintaining your equipment. You're teaching classes to kind of make sure everyone keeps like everyone in the military gets some level of first aid
Yeah.
training. So you'll be doing a lot of teaching these what we call CLS combat lifesaver classes. And that's just either working with the troops in the field and like kind of providing medical care as needed if they get injured, or you're teaching a class, you're maintaining your equipment. That's kind of, and then you're doing your own like continuing education to keep your
Okay.
medical skills sharp.
Free time is
There's some downtime, but so usually that downtime is for you to go get some training to stay sharp in your profession.
okay. Was there a moment that happened in your time in that really like changed you from who you were before to what you became, or have you always pretty much stayed you just with extra training and extra information? So
Mm, so like civilian, Ryan versus like military
yeah.
Ryan. I would say definitely, if you do decide to join, you will notice a difference when you go back to being around like the, quote unquote, like civilian life.
Mm,
For me, it was like a sense of urgency.
gotcha.
Like, because military, everything's like go, go, go. You do everything with a purpose. And like when I would come home on leave, I would notice like I had more of like a sense of urgency
Yeah.
to like, do things. So like when I was around friends or family, I had to kind of like, at first it was kind of like weird. Like it was like kind of like making me go crazy. And then I had to learn to kind of mellow out and be like, oh, they're they're not civilians. They
Yeah.
haven't been getting.
Like you say, we got to go to the park. All right, we need to get up. We need to have this practice. We
Yeah,
need to
it's
do it.
like
Yeah.
there's hit times like
Yeah.
hey, like 1400 is 1400. It's not like
Yeah.
2 o'clock or 2:30. Like it's things happen at a set time, and
You had to learn how to break it, like how
yeah.
to separate. Like sometimes it's not bad, to have that
Hmm.
sense of purpose. Like, all right, we're gonna be here at this time, and it's not bad. But if you're like, hey, you want to do something today? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get up. You don't have to like. It's not an emergency. You don't
Yeah.
need that. Okay. All right.
It's okay to sleep in when you're off. You know what I mean?
Your body still wakes up. You hear a horn and you flip out.
Yeah.
It's cool though. So has it shaped you any differently? Like, does your family notice the difference? Do they like you now? They like you before, or is it like much of a
Um,
difference? Really?
I don't know. I feel like I've stayed the same person being in the army. So I don't feel like I've changed too much as a person as far as like my values and stuff, but I
Mm.
definitely feel, how do I put this? I think because you go through in the army and the military, you're constantly going through like a set of challenges that I will say like you kind of have more confidence in
Mhm.
yourself to even like take on new challenges, like starting a podcast or something.
Yeah.
Like, so I do think that that is, in one way, it's like maybe I'm a more confident and like comfortable in my own skin type person since being in the army for 10 years.
Got you. This cord is killing me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, so just because you're used to doing hard things, and then also, you get confidence because you do hard things and you succeed, but also like you can do hard things and fail, and it's not the end of the world. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's like life goes on. There would be another thing that you can attempt to do and kind of prove yourself in.
Yeah.
So,
I do like that aspect. Like, hey, I messed up. Like, it's fine. Fix it.
yeah.
I like that. And then I know something I'll say in the military as a mechanic. I'm sure it's with other jobs too, but failing is succeeding,
Mm.
right? Because it's all you always learn, and rarely do you get like shunned or like disparaged by it. You get more motivated. Like, all right, cool. Let's figure out how to do it, right? And they let you stand on your own 2 feet, right? You're not like babied or coddled, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. I like that. I learned how to like problem solve on my own too. So, but yeah, what is something you wish you knew before joining?
Mm. Yeah, I wish I knew before joining.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not getting asked these questions. They're not hard, but thinking sucks sometimes.
Yeah. Um, it's a hard one. I don't know because I feel like I feel like you don't need to know everything when you first join. You just need, to do it.
Be able to adapt.
Yeah, that's not really. To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't like I said. I think knowing too much. I think worrying about knowing too much at the beginning can cause you to get in your head,
Yeah.
and like you don't need to know everything. Like you just need to know you want to do it, and just go do it.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
People who come into the office thinking they know everything,
yeah,
it's really hard to tell them anything
yeah,
because their minds are kind of closed to what they already believe, which is one reason why I was doing this to like get you to open up your sights to it because it's not what you perceive on these movies and what the news tries to tell you. Like, come open minded, be open minded. And yeah, military has definitely opened my mind to a lot of stuff that I never really thought about before I joined. So
yeah.
yeah,
I would say the only thing you need to know is your why, like why you want to join.
yeah,
And that's really all you need to care about.
yeah,
Like, is everything else like you're just gonna learn as you do it? And even if you think you know everything, chances are once you get there, it's nothing like you thought it was.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty
So
much. Exactly.
yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody who wants to join?
Mm,
That's kind of like what we just said, be open minded, but yeah.
I would say do your homework and go into your meeting with your recruiter prepared, like knowing like specifically, what you want out of the army. And then yeah, I would say that's it. Just kind of do your own research before, because if your recruiter is gonna, we kind of feed off of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like if you're not giving us nothing to work with, then it's really hard to kind of get you where you want to go if you don't know where you want to go. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then those are the people that are like, "Oh, my recruiter lied to me." It's like, "Well, did your recruiter lie to you, or did you just not really tell him anything?"
Yeah.
And
You can give them a line, a olive branch to reach out to.
like
Yeah.
all the questions you had, you didn't ask, or you didn't, you know. So,
Okay.
um,
Okay.
yeah, also too, I'll just like go into basic training in shape because it's just one less thing you got to worry about.
Yeah.
So basic training is gonna be mentally hard, but and you kind of can't really control that because you're gonna throw a bunch of things that you aren't prepared for. But everybody can work out and get in shape. If
Yeah.
you're physically in shape, then it's gonna suck less.
What one thing should people do to get ready? Lift,
Mm,
run, cardio.
yeah, I would focus on your cardio and then your leg strength and your back strength.
Okay.
So like squatting, if you can ruck march, pre-basic training, that would be good, which is putting a heavy load on your back and just walking. But if you got strong legs, strong back and decent cardio, you'll be fine.
Okay.
No one cares if you can bench press, 300 pounds. So, yeah. But
315. Just saying. Just saying. 315. Anyway, last question. If you could go back, talk to yourself before you join, what advice would you give yourself?
mm, I would have just done it at 18 because I'd be retired by now.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you want to do it, like if it's always on your mind to do it, like just quit stalling and go do it.
Yeah.
There's not really gonna be a perfect time to join. Just go join.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, you can always get out. You don't have to stay in forever.
yeah,
Do your time, 3-4 years, and then be like, that was cool, and then go do whatever it is that you wanted to do. People think that they're like, immediately stuck in there for life. Like, no, man, you got time.
yeah,
So people who stay in for a reason. People who get out did what they wanted to do. So
yeah. And then people make it out to be this gigantic thing, which I mean, it absolutely could be right. You could join the military and go deploy to a war zone like right off the bat, but that's actually very rare that
yeah,
happens. Like it's
yeah,
very rare that happens. Chances are you're going to get out of basic, out of AIT, you're going to go to a duty station and you're going to work it for 2 or 3 years. And then by that time, your contract will be up. And, it's just up to you if you want to do another contract or not. So,
okay. Um, Anything you want to tell the people before we move forward with the next subject? Anything you would change about your time in so far?
mm, if I could go back in time, if you want to do the quote unquote high speed stuff, then you need to try to get that right out the gate. Because it's different when you're in and you get older and things like that. But don't waste time. Like if you think you want to do the high speed stuff, the jumping out of airplanes, trying out for Ranger Regiment, don't waste time. Like just go do it right off the jump.
Okay. That is what we have for the military aspect of it. Thank you so much for that, sharing your story, telling us a little bit about yourself. We are going to you do something different now. You want to have some fun?
Let's do it.
All right. So
I see you pulling something up over there.
yeah. We are random in this podcast. So for the past couple of episodes, we've been talking about WWE. Last episode we did, I talked a little bit about the Anime Crunchyroll Awards coming up. I know you don't know too much about that, but
I know nothing about anime.
We'll get into some deeper anime stuff, but we're gonna jump back a little bit because we're random enough to do that, and we are going to talk about your thought process on WWE. You're a fan, right? You watch WWE?
I was a huge fan growing up. I've gotten back into it now that I have kids and just trying to kind of find something we can kind of connect with and bond with. So yeah, I've started watching it the last couple months now, probably about the last 3-4 months.
Okay. Do you have a favorite right now? Do your girls have a favorite?
I have one daughter that loves Cody Rhodes, and then I have one daughter that really loves the female wrestlers. So she like every week she has a new favorite. So right now she loves Bailey. She used to love Io Sky.
Okay.
Used to love Nia Jax. Used to love Asuka. So it's like it rotates.
Changes.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? Who's got you?
As far as today goes, there's some good ones. I really like Gunther.
You like Gunther?
Gunther. And I think he's good. I like some of the main guys. Like I do like Roman Reigns. I think he's developed a lot over the years.
That's true.
I would say that.
That's true. You can't get embarrassed on the mic.
Yeah,
like that, so I stay that way.
I remember that. That's gonna stick with him for a long time. I do like Cody Rhodes. And I do like some of the ladies. Some of the ladies, like their personalities, their characters are good. The Becky Lynches, things like that. I think some of them need to work on their in-ring performances and stop having so much scripted matches. Like just be able to call it on the spot instead of like it looks like a choreographed dance.
Okay.
But it's. I'm not trying to sound sexist, but it seems like it is kind of big on the female side. But,
okay.
There's some men that have really heavily scripted matches. And now I just pissed the audience off.
I'm about to say, hey, he said that, y'all. Don't come at me.
In general,
he said that.
Male and female, like stop having so many scripted matches. Just call it on the spot.
He has his own podcast too. His is much more intellectual than mine. I'm just a goofy podcast. His is more serious. Will I be a guest on his? I don't know. I don't really know what to talk about, but we're going to make sure to get his podcast mentioned and y'all go over and y'all check him out. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go over top 5, right? So my first episode, I did top 5 overrated, right? I'm going to get some of y'all upset again, but I said, Hulk Hogan. I said John Cena, Triple H was overrated. I changed one. I put it to Charlotte Flair. Sasha Banks is still my honorable mention for overrated. And yeah. Who do you have?
You want me to give you my overrated?
You're overrated.
That's kind of hard. Well, I think I did it the other day.
Yeah, I think you posted yours. I don't know if I can find it.
See, overrated. I would say so. Some of the names I think which is okay. So here's like my most controversial take on it, right? And I love this guy. But the Undertaker.
Yep, that's one of the ones you said. And
just because he's great, obviously. But I didn't realize that he had only had the belt 4 times as a So he was never like the main guy.
Not belt wise. Yeah. He wasn't a double digit.
So definitely a Hall of Fame career and a Hall of Fame character. But yeah, you kind of forget that he wasn't always in the main card mix.
Yeah,
over that 30-year career.
So when you say, we're going to clarify because a lot of people came at me, which I appreciate because that means you watched it. So thank you. When we say overrated, we don't mean they're not good. We're not saying they're not good. We're just saying the hype and praise that they get probably should go to somebody else who does more. So that's what we're saying. We're not saying they're bad. So for those of you who keep coming at me about John Cena, he is overrated, but I mean, you can't take away his WWE title runs. Because a lot of people like to talk about, like, Ric Flair has 16. Understand something. Ric Flair has 16 different world championships throughout other promotions.
Yeah. Now, Ric Flair almost made my list.
It's overrated?
Yeah, and here's why. Because it's kind of like Hogan.
Yeah.
Ric Flair is great on the mic.
Yeah.
But if you watch it, he admits this, like, he's very limited in ring.
Yeah.
He's just gonna chop you 20,000 times, and give you like the figure 4 leg lock. In ring, he is very limited.
Yeah, people like to talk about his beef with Ricky Steamboat, like it was one of the greatest rivalries. Like, all right, cool, but Ricky Steamboat, who never won a world championship, by the way, never won a world title. Why?
Stud though.
Absolutely.
The match with Macho Man, I think it's like WrestleMania 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Is
great match.
Yeah, insane.
And he came back later on with all the other legends, and they faced Chris Jericho, which clean sweep with Chris Jericho winning everybody. That was crazy. But Ricky Steamboat didn't lose a step at all. But I got his list pulled up, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna see what he says. Right? He said Undertaker.
I think Goldberg was on my.
Goldberg was on there.
So Goldberg again. I was a kid of that era, and he was like this just monster.
Yeah, just mean.
But yeah, he kind of, very limited.
Yeah, very.
Didn't really even have a character or mic skills. He just acted like he's like roid rage. I don't know if he did steroids or not, but he was just like angry all the time.
Yeah.
Super intense. Didn't really say anything too clever.
Yeah. I mean, that was the character they wanted. They told him go out there and just be mean.
Yeah.
And then dominate. And so he did, but he legitimately had like no wrestling training.
Yeah. And then he had a history of hurting people.
Yeah, he hurt Bret Hart.
But again, huge Goldberg fan. It's just kind of like
fan of the character and what he did. Yeah,
it's just
but like his capabilities.
Yeah,
he put Big Show on there.
Yeah,
So this is another big dude.
Big Show.
I love this.
If he wasn't big, like what does he contribute? You know what I mean? Now I give him credit for like being able to work a bunch of gimmicks. He did stuff with what's it called, Mayweather.
Yeah.
Did stuff with I think him and X-Pac. No, him. What was it? Undertaker and Big Show versus Kane and X-Pac. It was like a rivalry for a little bit. Something like that.
Yeah.
So he could work with a bunch of different people. It's just kind of like I actually prefer WCW Giant.
Long hair.
WWF/E Big Show.
Okay.
Because in WCW he was treated like the big bad giant.
Yeah.
And he came to WWE. They kind of really. I feel like they fumbled his.
They did.
They didn't really handle his. His character well.
WWE is notorious for fumbling great characters and trying to make it some sort of a gimmick that it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
Just let them be what they are. You put Ahmed Johnson. I can agree with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just, if you know the story of Ahmed Johnson.
Needs no explanation. If you know, you know.
He,
it's terrible. He was terrible. Just
and
awful.
they wanted to make him a star.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of seemed like him and his attitude costed. But like he had the look.
Yeah.
I think he had some pretty good in-ring talent. It's just something didn't click there.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, again, if you know, you know. Yeah. And then lastly, you put, and I'm not mad at this one at all, put Bret Hart.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Bret the Hitman Hart, again, actually, love Bret the Hitman Hart, but in his mind, it seems he's up there with like the Stone Colds and the Hogans. And
yeah, he stuck to his character.
He was a very good wrestler, good character, good in-ring stuff, but if you watch a lot of his like he needs to learn to let stuff go. And it's like 30 years and he's like, you can kind of tell he just sounds bitter that he doesn't get the recognition that the Hogans, the Flairs, and the Stone Colds get.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, you had a great career, let go.
In his mind, he is the best there is. The best
yeah, like legitimately.
He wholeheartedly believes every word of that gimmick in that comment. So yeah.
And he I didn't know this, but there's a lot of the story behind like why he got the push was like post kind of like the steroid scandal.
Yeah.
Hogan was kind of getting too old, so they needed a new, younger, reliable person.
Who wasn't all.
Yeah. So Bret Hart's great, but it's not as great as he thinks he is.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're gonna go into top.
And now Bret Hart's gonna find me.
He's gonna come up to you.
Yeah.
For some reason, you're gonna see this one random
Yeah.
ask like, "That's how you feel?" Yes, I bet you can't catch me. Anyway,
The sharpshooter was great. The glasses was great, but
yeah,
it's-
his brother was much better though.
Owen Hart could be on the underrated list
Could be, yeah,
because he obviously he passed away too soon.
yeah.
And it was funny because growing up, I hated Owen Hart.
Which was the point.
Which is the point,
Which is the
right?
point.
Which you don't know that at the time because as a kid, like you think everything's real, but like,
Yeah.
now that you can get older, you kind of study characters and stuff. It's like he was supposed to be the annoying younger brother,
Yeah,
and
like,
he played that character well.
he did.
Like,
Played it to a T. Him with the Nation of Domination was wonderful.
yeah.
I thought that was great. But speaking of Nation of Domination, we're gonna move to our top 5 underrated. Mine, I had Ron Simmons. No, I didn't. I had him in a different fight, but we'll get there. Anyway, look at them all messed up. Underrated. I had William Regal,
Yeah.
Chelsea Green. I had a few. I don't remember what they are now. Now I'm on the spot. Look at that. I can't even remember what I said. But I had those people. Dolph Ziggler was one there that's underrated. I think they just deserve so much more. Somebody told me The Miz was very underrated. Hard to agree with that, right? Because of the push he got. I mean, at one point in time, this man had 4 belts draped across his body. 3 or 4 belts at one time. The Miz, yeah. Went from an MTV personality, can't take that away, to fumbling on the mic, can't take that away, to a World Tag Team Champion with Big Show, heavyweight champion, main event of WrestleMania, and winning against John Cena. One of the greatest WrestleMania promo entrance themes ever. Like his little, if y'all watch it, it was great. It was great. Him and John Cena's thing was awesome. It was DMX with his prayer, and I was like, yo, this is amazing. And I think that might have been the greatest intro theme to it. But it's hard to say he was underrated with what they did with him, because he did a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's being misused, right? So R-Truth underrated, but yeah. So who's you throw in a underrated top 5? Am I in the camera?
I was wondering about that
because I lean over here a lot.
Like, what do I look at? But so my number 1 underrated, probably one of my favorite wrestlers is Psycho Sid Vicious. I think he had it all. I think he had the size, the look, the power bomb. And he actually, I believe they wanted to make him kind of like the guy, and he turned it down. He said he just wants to be a big bad heel.
Oh,
so he didn't want more. Yeah. But yeah, he definitely had just like a big man who was had a presence, was like Psycho Sid.
People underestimate how big he was. That was a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big guy.
Underrated. This would be kind of hard. I need to think. I would say Eddie Guerrero.
Okay.
Just because he was like great.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's one of the things you don't realize until they're gone.
Yeah.
But it was like, did we give him his flowers when he was alive?
No, we did not.
We knew he was good. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, I can legitimately, he was up there with the greatest. Like in ring,
yes,
talent,
charisma,
putting on a match,
character.
He's up there with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
He can work with anybody.
He can, and he did, and it was great. And I'm glad you said that. Eddie Guerrero didn't get his recognition until he beat Brock Lesnar. And then by that time, he was on his, decline of health.
Yeah.
So we didn't get Eddie Guerrero for much longer after that, after he won the belt. But yes, you said it. Eddie Guerrero is very underrated, even though he got the praise he's getting now. At that time, he wasn't appreciated as much as he should have been. So yeah, okay.
Then another one, kind of, he worked with Eddie a lot, was Kurt Angle.
Okay. The
way Kurt Angle came in right away and just took to the business and became a star.
Yes. With a broken freaking neck.
Yeah, in-ring talent, but also just mic skills, comedy skills.
Yeah.
I think Kurt Angle is underrated.
Okay. I like this list.
3.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
I think I told you this once in the office. X-Pac.
You did.
Sean Waltman, I think his real name is.
Yeah.
X-Pac, 6-Pac.
1, 2, 3 Kid.
Because I kind of feel like 1, 2, 3 Kid. I feel like he was ahead of his time as far as being able to work with big people.
Yeah.
like size difference. Because back in his day, it was usually like, the big guys ran the industry,
Yeah.
and they dang sure weren't going to lose to like a dude smaller than him, because that kind of suspended like belief.
Yeah, absolutely.
But X-Pac having the ability to work with anybody, any size, I think kind of paved the way for the modern era.
I think Big Show said that too. I think Big Show said
Yeah.
X-Pac can work with anyone, and it was great to work with him.
And he was good on the mic. He was part of NWO DX.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's been in the main mix of all the major stuff that's kind of happened in the business.
He was definitely a wild card. We'll say that much. He was definitely a wild card. So, okay.
And let's see.
Uno mas.
I really like your William Regal, because I thought I was the only one that was a huge Regal fan.
William Regal's amazing.
Yeah. It's just something about, his character being like that, he's like a London, like, street brawler. Is that his?
Oh, no, he was, when he was like a manly man?
He was like, but he was from London as his character, right? He's from London, or is it? Yeah,
that's real.
Yeah,
Are you talking about?
Yeah. No. But I'm talking about like, obviously he's from there, but like his character was like, he was like the real like sophisticated guy, but then he also kind of had like the brawler side of him.
Yeah.
So like, there's something about him, and then he was also like a technician in the ring.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah, like he wasn't just like a powerful guy slamming you.
Yeah, he was great. He's the one that they told to go out there and give a 30-minute match with Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, really? Okay. And he went out there and he did his absolute best. He was great on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
He had a great presence. He's very funny too. People forget about his character work. Like, what was it? They did a match. It was him and Goldust. Did you see that? They switched personas. They switched characters. So Goldust came out as William Regal, but he still had his Goldust paint on, but he came out dressed as William Regal, and he did the walk and everything. And then William Regal came out with the wig and his face painted.
Yeah.
And he did the whole, if y'all have never seen that, man, go back and watch that. It's so funny and it's good. And he did the whole thing, and he had the wig on, and it was great. William Regal is one that you could probably put with anybody, and it works. Him as general manager, him as king of the ring. It was great.
Yeah, so William Regal, amazing. But I would also say give two honorable mentions.
Okay, two. All right.
Mr. Perfect.
Kurt Hennig. Okay.
I loved him.
Okay.
And then also Goldust, because that character, like,
ahead of his time,
it could have like killed his career.
It could have,
but he did it so well. Like, that's a legendary character.
It is.
Like, that's a character that probably should be in the Hall of Fame as soon as he's done. He's doing AEW.
He's doing AEW right now. Yeah.
But eventually, he should make the Hall of Fame for that character.
No,
like,
I'm not mad at that.
Like, the fact that he could do that. Yeah. It was like watching it growing up. It made everyone so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but it was supposed to. You know what
and
I mean?
it was so funny.
Yeah,
he was the original breaker of characters.
Yeah,
it was trying to stay in character around him was just not a possibility.
Did you see when he went on the Conan O'Brien show?
Oh no!
And in character, and how uncomfortable he made Conan O'Brien.
I gotta watch it.
Hilarious! You got to YouTube it.
Oh man, I'm gonna look it up. Yeah. When I get further into all of this, I'm gonna figure out how to like look stuff up and put it on there. We can watch them together. Until then, go watch it yourself. But yeah,
but he was also good in the ring too.
He was good. He was very good. Yeah, his brother, not necessarily Cody Rhodes, but after a while, the babyface just starts to. It's just I don't like it. But I am Attitude Era where there wasn't really any babyfaces. This guy was just a good or bad guy.
Yeah.
So I think the best era is Attitude Era, but again, that's where I came up with. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And we're going to cap this topic off with your Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Mine was Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Stone Cold, and Ron Simmons. That's where I was putting everything. Ron Simmons, a.k.a. Farouk, Nation of Domination, APA, Acolytes. People know Ron Simmons.
All right. I'm going to go. I'll try to give an explanation as to why, too. So.
Okay. I like that.
Andre the Giant.
Okay.
Because my knowledge of wrestling is everything was territorial back in the day. And then he was one of the first ones that would basically cross into different territories.
Okay.
Because he was such a big draw. Right.
You say different territories.
Yeah. So like, it was like, New York was a territory. Like, people didn't really go outside of their territory.
Okay.
And then
I mean, who gonna stop him though?
Andre Giant was the one that had that crossover appeal that,
Yeah.
which I think is kind of what helped Vince McMahon, the son, not the father, decide to make like a global business or like a nationwide
Mhm.
kind of wrestling company instead of like breaking out of the so instead of doing just the territories. So Andre the Giant, and then Hulk Hogan, because just his level of stardom, he made wrestling like a pop phenomenon, pop
Okay.
culture phenomenon.
Hard to argue that.
And then if you watch younger Hogan, he's a little better in the ring. He's still kind of a big bulky dude. Like, I get the criticism of Hogan because he was limited in the ring, but I think people forget he wrestled into like his damn near 60s. Right? But if you go back and you watch like, 30, 40-year Hogan, he is a little bit more agile.
Yeah.
And also too, Hogan is up there with working the crowd.
Yes.
Right? The crowd is always involved in his matches.
Yeah.
Right? So
he makes sure to get them involved.
So
I had somebody come at me. He was like, I won't say come at me, but commented, people forget that Hogan is a big man and he worked as a big man. And, not taking that away, Hogan was a big man, but there are other big dudes who in-ring capabilities exceeded his. So that's why I put him as overrated as far as his capabilities. What he did for wrestling, it's hard to dispute that. So, yeah.
All right, so...
Yeah, Andre and Hulk. Okay, let's go.
Third would be Stone Cold.
There we go. He's got to be on everybody.
Stone Cold, I don't think anybody was ever as hot as Stone Cold. Even Hogan. Maybe him and Hogan maybe like are neck and neck.
Yo, we've had this conversation in the office before, and it got pretty like hostile because we were talking. You said John Cena is. I'm gonna let him.
I said John Cena was very good for a very long time, but I don't think he ever at his peak was as hot as Stone Cold.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Somebody else must have said it backwards then.
Yeah.
Somebody else said John Cena was hotter and better in the draw.
No, that might have been.
I think it might have been Gannon.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or Favor.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Stone Cold was. I don't think anyone's ever been hotter than Stone Cold.
For a short run, too. People continuously forget he was not in that ring.
Like, he did more in 3 to 4 years of people doing a 30-year career.
Yes.
Like, so Stone Cold for sure. Right. And then the fourth one is like where like that's the one that I can switch a lot of people in.
Mm-hmm.
So many people I could put. But I'm really, really tempted. I'm gonna go Macho Man.
Macho Man.
Yeah, I think.
I like that.
I think at the time he was kind of, he was never as big as Hogan.
Yeah.
Right, because Hogan was Hogan. But like as far as like standing the test of time,
yeah,
like everyone knows the Macho Man. Everybody knows slapping to a Slim Jim.
Everybody knows you got 3 minutes.
Yeah. Everybody knows
playtime.
Voice, the elbow drop,
the promos,
the
like, cream of the crop,
yeah. But people that I could put in that fourth spot, I mean, Shawn Michaels for sure, Undertaker. Who else?
Well, I'm gonna point. I'm sorry, like Macho Man's promos were when I'm gonna point at you and I'm gonna see what I gotta say. Yeah,
but Macho Man is the guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Bonesaw is ready. Oh, man, rest in peace to Macho.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to...
Cream of the crop or whatever.
Yeah, I'm the cream of the crop because we'll pull out a little creamer. I was like, where'd you get that from? You don't have sleeves.
Yeah.
But yeah, these legends that we talk about really shaped our lives. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what people of Earth would be doing if we didn't have like wrestling entertaining us that's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's an underestimated sport, and gotta understand what they do. But I
think what makes wrestling so unique is that it's a combination of a lot of things. So it's a combination of like bodybuilding, it's a combination of like sports and like just athleticism.
Yeah,
it's a combination of like theater.
Yeah, it's a soap opera for sure.
It's a soap opera,
definitely a soap opera.
Because the characters are really people kind of do watch more for the characters than just the in-ring wrestling. Right, you gotta have you gotta have the characters to make me want to watch the wrestling.
Yeah,
like the storylines are really more important than in matches or whatever.
Danhausen is my favorite character right now, but I am a huge Oba Femi fan right now. That strut is just. I'm afraid that he's too hot right now, and it's gonna they get old. I hope it doesn't. I hope they push him the right way. He has win against Brock Lesnar, but Danhausen right now has my attention as far as like entertainment and kind of character.
When's WrestleMania?
Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, WrestleMania Sunday. Make sure to Saturday and Sunday. It's a 2-night event. I forgot. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
He's opening the show.
Yeah. Their match or
yeah, their match is opening. That's what's crazy.
That is weird.
Buffemi and Brock Lesnar is opening. I mean, he did it before, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember who was I don't remember who that was against, but he opened before. Which, all right. I mean, Brock, he can do whatever. Really, you're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah. All right. So I'm gonna ask some randoms here because we got a little time, and I wanna make sure I get everything I can out of you before he gets back behind the camera and tells me to.
It'd be funny if we're actually not recording.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
The guys that he hit record for us.
I wish we could double check that.
Yeah, I mean that would mean we would have to get up and go look, but we don't want to be that raw on camera. This conversation shouldn't even be happening on camera, but
we can edit it.
Yeah.
We got the power to edit.
Yeah, or we just leave it there. Let you experience what it's like. Who do you think the best high flyer is? Your best high flyer
of all time?
Your best, like your favorite.
I can't really think of too many of them other than like Rey Mysterio in his prime.
Okay, like WCW Ray.
Uh-huh.
Okay, mine's Jeff Hardy.
Oh yeah, the Hardy Boys. Yeah.
Mine's Jeff Hardy. But who's your favorite powerhouse? Mine's Batista.
Powerhouse. Tough. So many, because it used to be like all they were back in the day.
Yeah.
I really like, as a kid, I really liked Diesel.
Okay.
I was a huge Diesel fan as a kid. Even Kevin Nash, like when he went to, NWO.
Okay. So you're a big Kevin Nash dude.
Yeah.
Big, sexy, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Also a big Yokozuna fan. I guess you call him he's a big guy.
Yeah.
Powerhouse, but he's just a large human being.
He's very agile to be that big.
Yeah.
It was crazy. All right. Who's your favorite heel character? Who's your favorite bad guy?
Honestly, okay. Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I thought he played an amazing heel.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I almost like heel Hogan more than I do the red and yellow.
Okay.
Like I thought he was a good heel. Like the way he acted, and then just in the ring, the cheating,
yeah,
the low blowing, the spray painting people on the back. So I think NWO Hollywood Hogan was a great heel.
So is that your favorite faction as well, NWO?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, mine's DX. It's gonna be DX. I love NWO, but mine's gonna be DX because I'm a prankster. So
yeah, I think that. So I was really attracted to the rawness and in a way like thuggery of the NWO.
Okay.
More than I liked DX, but it was kind of just like it's its own little thing.
Yeah.
But like they were more like the rebels, the pranksters.
Okay. Yeah.
But like the rawness and like the gangsterness of NWO.
Yeah.
Like for some reason I just gravitated to
Okay.
that.
I liked DX when they got on that tank and they rolled up to WCW. And what's cool is they were still friends with Scott Hall and them. And so they're like, open the door, this would be great.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what would have happened if they opened the door.
Oh, snap.
What?
You just reminded me.
Uh-oh.
I got to change my underrated list because Scott Hall, Razor Ramon is actually, I think, one of the greatest of all times. And especially like what he did leading the Monday Night Wars really started because he left and then he brought, Kevin Nash with him. And then also he kind of crafted the Sting character.
He did. People don't know that.
So he went out and found the I guess the anti-hero to the NWO.
Yeah.
And then also he pushed for Diamond Dallas Page.
He did.
To kind of get the push.
Yeah.
Because they needed like someone, because he was like the first one to, I guess, besides Sting, to stand up to the NWO.
Yeah. Diamond Dallas Page was.
He kind of helped Diamond Dallas Page. And Diamond Dallas Page was huge in WCW.
Yeah, he was very tall. They said that he should have beaten Goldberg's streak.
But I would actually say, I would probably put Scott Hall as like my number one underrated. Like I think he's not just like, he belonged with the best of the best conversation.
Yeah.
He was also great in the ring. Like the Razor's Edge, classic finisher. The one where he like held people and then just like threw them backwards.
Yeah. And he had a great, he was great on the mic too.
Yeah.
Hey, yo. People talk about when he got hit in the head with that
Oh
beard.
yeah,
Like it just
didn't
made me
break
look.
character.
Yeah, it just made him look better. I was like, that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Favorite character, like mine is Undertaker. Sting is as close second as you can possibly get. But
Yeah, I think favorite characters throughout the time, I would go with Kane.
okay,
Yeah, and then just like one of the greatest storylines of all time is the introduction of Kane.
the brother who got left
Yeah.
behind. So you like Corporate Kane too?
No. But just a big red machine. Favorite big man too. I mean, Kane's up there as far as like favorite big man.
That dude's strong too.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying that Kane's
Mark Henry, another underrated, by the way. I could go on. My underrated list is huge.
Yeah. That's an angry dude. Mark Henry's an angry man. When he broke that chain off the cell, it was supposed to be filed. You saw this story? He's like, it wasn't filed. He was like, it was just making me angrier.
Yeah.
He saw I finally broke it. And I was like, who upsets this person? Why would you playing pranks on this man?
Big dude. He's a Texas boy too.
Yeah. He's actual world's strongest man too. People think it's just a character. No.
And I don't know if you saw his he did a sit down with Stone Cold on the Broken Skull session. Which is a great interview. You should watch it like the whole way through. But he talked about he basically put his WWE career on the line.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon's like, your character doesn't sell if you're not the strongest man.
Yeah, he's like, there's no room in here for the second strongest man.
So
they would often say, like, if you want Mark to do something, just make him mad.
Yeah.
And he would do it. And I'm like, I don't want it that bad to upset this man. Ripping lockers apart and actually like rolling frying pans. And they were trying to like play pranks. They were like, yeah, we're going to get him a real frying pan. We told him it was going to be this, but it was real. And he still rolled it. The steel beam, he still bent it. I'm like, just leave him alone because he's going to crush one of you all's skull like Homelander. Like, let's stop messing with this guy. But
yeah, he's not somebody I don't want to get in a fight with.
Yeah, no. You have to catch me, sir.
Yeah.
Do your best to catch me.
What were we talking about before that, though?
Fast as a hippo.
Oh, favorite characters over the years?
Yeah, you said Kane.
Yeah, so Kane's, Stone Cold's, because like being from Texas, like he's like every freaking redneck.
Yeah.
And he's from Texas, that's why he probably played it so
yeah.
well. I'm trying to think. I'll say I really like the Mankind character.
Okay.
The tortured soul.
That guy, so many different characters.
Yeah.
He did all of them in one Royal Rumble match. It was great.
Yeah. Mick Foley's great.
All right.
And that's 3. I'm trying to think more.
I love it. This is great. First interview went well, I think. Great conversation. Got some knowledge out there, educated some people, let them know. I think we're going to go ahead and like call this one.
Call it, yeah.
Unless you got something else you want to give to the people, go ahead and mention your podcast.
It's under construction right now, so when I relaunch it.
Okay, we'll definitely have you back because he's, like I said, he's the producer.
So I had a podcast, but it was mostly audio because I'm not tech savvy.
Okay.
So between the two of us,
we'll try to figure something out.
Yeah, I had to launch mine with the audio and the visuals and the social media marketing campaign and all that stuff.
Yeah. If y'all have advice, man, please feel free to leave it down there. What you think we should do or to reach more people? How do you think the video should go? Hit me up. DM me. I had somebody actually run me a DM telling me that they had interest in joining, and I was like, that's really cool. So it is reaching people. So that's awesome. So thank y'all so much for that. And just thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sitting with us and playing us in your car or in your ear in the gym or in the office, wherever you are. Definitely appreciate you popping in for episode 4 of Some of Everything, the podcast. Again, it'll be on YouTube, Deezer, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. It'll be on everything, Spotify. So go ahead, check it out, like, share it, subscribe it, leave your comments. And I just want to, thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for being in here with us, and we will see you next time. Until then, be cool, be safe, be good to each other.